I allowed the Parramatta Club's efforts this week to discredit referee Kevin Roberts' handling of the Souths and Parramatta game that we televised last week to go without a comment. The reviewing at leisure of videotape of rugby league matches and the amassing of evidence purporting to show referees' faults and errors is very unrealistic and loses sight totally of the fact that referees are human and humans make mistakes. Frankly, it appalls me, and I've got to say this, that the coach of the Parramatta Club and some of the officials are taking up with Roberts where they left off with Hartley, and we all know the damaging effect that that protracted episode had on the image of rugby league and the rugby league referees. Now, I state here unequivocally, I've only got the good of the game of rugby league at heart, not the individual clubs. To me, and a lot of the people of my generation, it's suspiciously like whinging when you complain about a referee, particularly after you've lost. There is no other club in the First Division which is so at odds with the referees, and I believe it's about time those within the club who value the Eels' great tradition and their reputation applied the brakes to those who obviously don't care. And just a tag to that remark was the fact that I am receiving an increasing number of letters and phone calls from Parramatta fans disassociating themselves from the club's actions. An increasing number. And it worries me. Any comment?
Oh, well, it does sound a lot of people do say to you know the Parramatta are dead set whingers no matter what happens. Like it's just getting into the conversation now that a try against any other side, you know, seems to be let go, and as soon as it happens to Parramatta, there comes one hell of a blast, you know, and a lot of backlash. And
every club gets a bad break with the refereeing, but it shows it's amazing. They never the whinge about the ones that happen, but they never say the ones where they get the advantage from it. Yeah, and every club does.
Cool.
I think the only thing you can say in favour of that he has gone through the correct channels, which is the constitution of rugby league. Now, whether that's right or wrong, whether he should do that, but he has the right to do that, and he's done that through the correct channels. Other people might go through newspapers and whatever it might be. But I think it's damaging, and I think Craig Young has brought up something here this morning, and I've been on this for some considerable time. Craig has said this morning that the referee, he doesn't mind, go out in the football field, he wants the referee to referee the game and use the whistle. If a fellow breaks the laws of the game, well, penalise him for it. I think the referee's got to become more professional, his outlook as a player. If there's a breach of the laws in the game of rugby league, it's up to the referee then to penalise accordingly both sides of the fence and be consistent in the rulings and play to the laws in according to the law book.
That's all you want.
That's all that's wanted out in the football field. That's how I see it.
That sounds to me as if you're dirty on the referee, but
I'm not dirty on the referee at all. I'm saying
he's
that
dirty on the referees for not administering the laws of the game.
I say that.
Well, geez, they've got a pretty big job to do.
It is a big job.
Like, it's a hell of a lot faster.
No, he'd know more about that than you, wouldn't everybody? It was a good one. It's a typical Gibson ploy.
Well, it's a ruse, and I don't blame the coach or the players, but here's a case here, not supposed to hold the ball unless you're kicking for goal. Well, straight away, that should have been a scrum, as far as I was concerned, but it's against the laws of the game, but nearly a try come off it.
Yeah. Yes, it went very perilously.
Rules of the game now.
Now, here's a move that should have probably involved growth in a try, but he put his foot on the line, as we'll see there.
Yep.
No doubt about it. A correct decision by the touch judge. Known, and to me, having a look at that again, are we, Peter? Good lad. There you can see the foot on the line. On the line is out. On the line is out. A try can be scored on the goal line because the goal line is in goal, the sideline is in touch. So on the line is out. And that's the weeks. I'd never even heard of him. I know he's been with the club a few years from Waterloo Juniors, and he's been doing some incredible things, taking bombs. This one not under the great pressure you'd see from, which I thought was amusing. Loftus involved, goes between the legs of a player, loses the ball. Bob O'Reilly, being a gentleman of the old school, picks it up and gives it straight back to Souths, which I thought was very nice of him, and good luck to you, Bob. An opportunity, could have definitely scored here. It was a good pass. There you are, he could have picked that up and gone on with it, but failed to do so. And in all your days, have you ever seen a hooker come out before the ball? No. There he is. There's Stephen Edge.
Did he have the ball?
I didn't know whether... no, he didn't. But I thought Murray would have picked him up and passed him. Greg Hartley was the only one that attracted their attention. Kevin Roberts, I commend the lady on the left to you. She gets a bit rude when she changes the hat to the other hand. Wait for it. Wait for it. Up a daisy, lady.
No lip readers around.
I don't think anyone who plays football in a grade situation, if they don't think of playing for Australia, then I think they're kidding themselves. Everybody loves the publicity, the representing your district first, then the city, state, and then Australia. That's the thing that you should aim for. If you don't have a pinnacle to go for, then I don't think you're going to go very far.
So I suggest that the Kangaroo Tour is your next pinnacle, is it?
Well, that's a long way off yet, but if I'm lucky enough to be selected, I'll certainly...
City selection and then progress through the ranks, sort of of thing.
Well, hopefully, but you know, like I say, I've got to keep my first grade spot at Parramatta first. There are a lot of good second rowers in the other grade.
I've arranged for mountain goats, Rex. It's on a bit of a hill, but I've got 50 acres down near Gerringong.
Yeah, and what is it? Very mountainous country, is it?
Well, there's a bit of a slope on it, yes.
You don't reckon you'll ever be a city dweller?
I don't think so, Rex, no.
Still the family business down there?
Still got the family hotel.
Yeah. And do you work in the pub yourself?
Well, when I'm there, I do, Rex. As I said, I travel to Sydney 4 times a week, so I spend a bit of time on the road.
And you're finally, I'm told, correct me if I'm wrong, leaving the ranks of the bachelors. You're going to be a married man and not too far distant.
That is a room, that's right, Rex. Yeah, we're getting married probably before the football season's out.
Is that the lovely girl that we had dinner with one night?
I better say yes, but no.
I think so.
Traditionally badly, I thought. I sort of, I hadn't struck a winger like Eric Grove before. He's
a big boy and he's quick.
He's hard to handle, and I wasn't, you know, for me to handle someone like that, I've got to position myself very well and go in well, and I was, instead of me making him sort of go where I wanted him to go, he was making me go where he wanted me to go.
How did the change come about that you went from the right to the left wing? Was that coming from off the field?
It came from off the field, yeah.
Well, I think it was a good move because it gave you a bit of confidence then, didn't it?
Yeah, well, I sort of just stuck at it and thought that, you know, like, I've got to make up for the lapses that happened in the early part, and that worked out okay in the end.
A little bit of swelling in the knee joint after a hard training session or a hard game, but you know, it just takes a day or so to work that out.
I saw tape of your match against Eastern Suburbs, and you weren't the free-running Mitch Bennett that I've come to see, but you did a hell of a lot of tackling.
Yeah, a lot of people said I didn't do much in attack, but I don't think the game was presented to me that way.
Yeah, right.
You know, just a bit in defence.
The point I'm trying to make is that it didn't inconvenience you at all, the knee.
No, not at all.
Was it on your mind psychologically at any stage?
Well, you know, obviously, the only time I thought about it was when I was doing nothing. So the more work I did, the less I thought about it.
There's a moral in that. Keep busy.
Yeah.
Gone better with him.
Ray Price, to a lot of people, is his own worst enemy. Is there any element of doubt that Ray might have just said a little bit more than what's been quoted?
Oh, Ray certainly said a few things, but he didn't direct them at the referee.
There's been a lot of talk about Melrose's try, and it's generally agreed that it was a no try. But then you've got that situation now that's been raised that Stephen Edge was offside when Sterling put up that bomb, and Edge went through and scored. How do you react to that?
Well, I think it's debatable. I think whoever...
The other fact you must look at is whether Loftus, when he goes up for the ball, touches it. Now, we'll prove all those points to you now. Edge was well in front. Sterling did not run forward because he's off balance. Edge was never put onside by Sterling. Now, Loftus goes up for the ball, and Price does too. It bounces off Price's shoulder without Loftus touching it. Now, we'll prove that to you again in the head-on shot. Now, I challenge the New South Wales Rugby League Committee that talked to Gibson about his 38 complaints. How could they say that was a try? OK, gentlemen, over to you. Here's the head-on.
Yeah, the head-on shows that clearly we had a look at it a few times before, and Price goes up.
Now, where's Loftus touch it? Tell me that, please.
Loftus is behind him, doesn't touch it.
Loftus doesn't get a hand, or it doesn't get any part of it.
Off his shoulder. Chest, shoulder, what?
Now, Ron, the only way that the committee could rule that that was a try is the truth that he doesn't. So it's definitely
look at it
no
here. The way as we show it again.
Look at Edge.
Edge was offside. Now Sterling, look where Sterling is. Edge was 3 yards in front of him.
Never put
now
on.
In the head-on shot, Edge is never put onside by Sterling. Now that's where I question the rugby league, and I say, are they bowing to pressure from Jack Gibson?
Well, Souths didn't protest. Souths won the game.
No, Souths don't protest. They're not that sort of a club. Now, here's the head-on shot. Watch Sterling in the background there. He does not run Edge onside. That's the... See Sterling standing flat-footed back there? The snowy-headed fella?
He stops to have a look at the kick.
Thank you very much.
The South players might like their club to protest. They might like to try and get a better deal from